Hello everyone, welcome to this episode of The Guido Goes Off. As always, I thank you folks for watching. Thank you to the new subscribers who have joined. And if you haven't yet, please always join the few but faithful and hit that subscribe button. Now on to the show. Now, ladies and gentlemen, most of the time I try to deal with the facts, things that have been reported, that have been confirmed. Of course, there is also a lot of speculation that goes on. Well, there's been a lot of interesting, how shall I say, rumors that have come about in the last week that I definitely feel deserve my attention. So with that being said, I'm going to talk about some things. As I'm saying, these are just rumors, nothing is confirmed. But so as always, take this with a grain of salt, and let's get going. Well, the first one, and quite possibly the biggest, is the possibility of WWE combining its Raw and SmackDown rosters next year. As we know, WWE did sign huge TV deals here in North America. As we know, the combined offers from Fox and NBC Universal. Of course, the Fox deal being huge because it's going to be on mainstream television. As we know, SmackDown Live is set to move to Friday nights and be like basically Fox is broadcasting for Friday nights, which of course was huge with the $1 billion price tag attached to it. But it has apparently made some WWE officials nervous because they worry about the slipping ratings. Now, don't get me wrong, SmackDown has been putting on some pretty good shows. Their ratings have been steadily rising and is considered by many fans to be the big show as opposed to Raw. Even WWE themselves announced this when they finally announced that the deal had been done with Fox, basically saying that SmackDown was their flagship show. Now, of course, on the other side of things, Raw has not been doing terribly great. In fact, we had the Go Home show prior to Extreme Rules being the lowest rated Raw in history. I mean, we're like talking over 25 years, and that was the lowest rating. So it does make some officials nervous, and I don't blame them because you want to put out the best product out there. Now, of course, with the shift in Fox's programming as it is, as their switch, as you know, they sold off pretty much everything except for the sports and the news, and they're looking to do more live entertainment and things with sports. And as I've said before, sports, entertainment, signing WWE to $1 billion contract, that's a match made in heaven as far as I'm concerned. But it is, of course, making what's making them nervous is that they're worried what could happen if the ratings aren't good. Now, as being said, WWE, of course, hasn't done terribly great numbers ever since the past Monday Night Wars. Now, don't get me wrong, SmackDown would probably benefit greatly from a mainstream audience. As we know, Fox is one of the big networks. And so, of course, you have a bigger viewing audience as it's more readily available to every home in North America. And it only makes sense that the numbers could probably be better than what you get even with being on a top cable network such as USA. But again, the concern is that the ratings might not be strong enough. So there is possible talk of uniting the rosters. I would say this would quite possibly be a horrible idea. As I've said before, SmackDown's audience is growing. People are enjoying SmackDown. They are tuning in regularly. And, with while, you know, there's been questionable booking decisions, for the most part, SmackDown has been enjoyable, especially with its 2-hour runtime. You get more wrestling. You get a heck of a lot less filler, which a lot of fans have complained has drugged down Raw. So, with that being said, combining the rosters just sounds like a horrible idea, and possibly to increase the ratings, you might want to just drop Raw to 2 hours. I know they've got the bigger roster, of course, to fill it, but again, there's just been a lot of bad decisions made there. So again, like I said, this is a rumor, nothing set in stone. But again, like I said, the officials are worried because they worry that if the ratings are bad, Fox will pull SmackDown from Fox and put it on FS1, which of course is a smaller market. So, I don't know. Maybe there's, I mean, if they're so worried about that, there's one thing to do. Make your show better! I mean, I'm no expert, of course. Sounds like a good idea. Moving on to another rumor that has been circulating. This has been going on for quite some time, and this one, as far as the other things we've been talking about, looks to be a definite probably. And that is the signing of Matt Riddle. For those of you who don't know who he is, Matt Riddle has been a huge wrestler on the independent scene, known as the King of the Bros, was a former MMA standout, went into professional wrestling, has done quite well for himself, and it has been speculated for the past few months that he and WWE were going to sign a deal. New Japan was also interested in him, but from what has been reported, this is pretty much all over but the shouting, and that Matt Riddle has signed a 3-year deal with WWE. Now, of course, this could be confirmed at NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 4, as usually the big signees that they just get are usually in the audience, and they focus on them, and they say, hey, we got these guys. Take a look. So if Matt Riddle is signed, more than likely that's where he is going to be. So, of course, do I say it's a good move for NXT to say, well, you want the best talent for your roster, and Matt Riddle is, if you've seen his matches, he's pretty dang good. So, I mean, here's hoping he becomes not one of those guys they drop the ball on, as opposed to, like, everyone else. But, again, this is pretty much all over but the shouting. And we should find out here in a couple weeks at TakeOver. And, yay! The last rumor I want to talk about is that there's a lot of speculation right now that Matt Hardy may be riding off into the sunset. As we know recently, Matt Hardy did deal with a personal loss in Tracy Cadell. For those of you that don't know, he also died on Sunday, along with, the same day that we lost Nikolai Volkov, Brian Christopher, and Brickhouse Brown. Tracy Cadell, not only the father of Impact star Trevor Lee, but also helped the Hardys in launching Omega, their own promotion, which was the launching pad for their careers, as well as the career of Shane Helms and a lot of other wrestlers in the Carolinas as well. Matt did leave a very cryptic tweet. It's basically saying to everyone who followed Omega, to their time in WWE, to the you know, to the return to his return to WWE, to all the Woken Warriors. Thank you. I'm sure I'm leaving some stuff out. Of course, you can go to Matt Hardy's Twitter and find this for yourself. But again, it is, like I said, it was cryptic, but I'm not sure if Matt is looking to ride off into the sunset. I do know that their deal with that both Hardys' deal with WWE was only for 1 year. I know that while that Matt really hasn't found the traction with the Woken gimmick as he did in Impact Wrestling. Of course, with 2 Wee-1s and, of course, a stellar career, you don't want to see anyone retire before they should, but you also don't want to see someone retire on not their own terms. This, of course, could be just simply a thank you because, as we know, his friend passed away. I don't know his exact age, but I know he wasn't that old, and it could be just reflections of a human being looking at his or her own mortality. But again, who knows? He could be. He's done a lot in professional wrestling. He's made crap tons of money. One of the biggest self-promoters in wrestling. And it could be that it might be looking to walk away. Again, I don't know. But tweets like this, usually these are also accompanied by a picture of someone leaving their boots in the ring. But again, who knows? We should hear more from Matt Hardy on this, and we probably will. Who knows what's going on? As I said, pinch of salt, but... Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to thank you for joining me on this episode of The Guido Goes Off. So, what do you think of the topics I covered in this episode? And should I make more trips to the rumor mill? As always, please drop a line in the comments section below. And as always, you can follow me via my social medias, of course my Twitter and Instagram here, as well as the link to the Facebook page. Please drop by there, give it a like. And as always, please like these videos, share them with everyone you know, and if you have yet to join the Few But Faithful, click that subscribe button and do so. Until next time, I am the Guido, and I think we're done here.